Welcome back, everyone, to Rudy's Rant. This is the new edition of Rudy's Rant. Just to give you a little bit of background, as you know, I have Rudy's Rant under Come On Now the podcast. What I'll be doing on Come On Now the podcast will be just rant videos where I go off like I normally do. But in this situation with this new channel, what we're going to be doing here is this is a reaction channel, and we'll be reacting to lots of things that we see. So what we'll do is we will drop a video that's been put out, and we will be reacting to that video. That will be a large portion of what we do here. So you're going to get our perspective. And just so you know, this will be something that'll be ongoing. So the content here will be different from the content over there. So be sure to continue to subscribe to Come On Now the podcast, but also subscribe today. Ring that bell to Rudy's Rant at Rudy's Rant right here. Boom. At Rudy's Rant on YouTube. Please do subscribe. And I thank you so much for your continued support of everything that we do. Let's jump on into the topic at hand. Yesterday, Ben Daniel and I, Ben Daniel, the Ben Daniel podcast. Shout out Ben Daniel. If you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, go do it right now. The Ben Daniel podcast. Yesterday, we were doing our live where we do it together on Sunday nights a lot. And talking about, I brought up the topic of a new league for women's basketball. There's been conversation and talk of a potential strike, which to me is utterly crazy, to say the least. But when I brought it up, I had no idea that this was something that Jason Whitlock had spoken about just 2 days ago. I'm sure you know who Jason Whitlock is, but he brought up this in one of his topics where he discussed a new basketball league where he called it the XX Basketball League. So take a look at what he had to say, and then I'll jump in and give you my opinion and commentary on this.
We need a league of our own. We need a league built around Caitlin Clark. It can happen. Let me explain. The collective bargaining agreement for the WNBA is likely going to expire on October 31st, 2025. I believe their players, their union, has a chance to opt out of their CBA November 1st. Is that 22 days from now? Yeah, today's October 9th, 22 days from now. They can opt out of the CBA, which would mean it would end October 31st, 2025. That's next year. This is likely to happen. These WNBA players are irate about how much money they get paid. They all think they should be making LeBron James money. They certainly think, A'ja Wilson's the best player in that league. I think she makes around $225,000.
Let me jump on in real quick on the A'ja Wilson comment. And A'ja Wilson thinks in her mind of delusion that she should be making some crazy amount of money, despite the fact that until this year, almost no one turned on the television to watch her play. So it's funny how they would consider locking out, striking, opting out of a deal, striking potentially, and all these things that have been talked about when they're a league that makes literally no money. So can you imagine asking for more when you're not bringing in anything? Well, let's continue.
They certainly want to make more money than that. Most people, I've read it everywhere, most people think they're going to opt out, and many people believe there's going to be a work stoppage over this money issue. A work stoppage in a league that hasn't turned a profit in 27 years. This is an opportunity for someone, for us, to build a women's basketball league around Caitlin Clark. Who needs content? Who wants to build a platform that rivals YouTube? Who needs the proper content to drive enough interest so they can have a platform that rivals YouTube? Well, one of the richest men in the world, who's not named Rothschild, Elon Musk.
So let me hit on that real quick, because it's funny that he brings up Elon Musk, because that's exactly who I said last night in the live was Elon Musk. It wasn't to drive content to Twitter, to X. It wasn't to do that. It was because he has a large ego, honestly, and he is someone who could actually pay for the whole damn thing and not need to have multiple owners of a team, whereas he could be the owner of the league, ergo the big three, for example. Ice Cube owns that league. Those teams are all, no one owns those teams. That's an Ice Cube product and whoever are his partners. Elon Musk is worth $150 billion or something. I mean, what is his net worth right now? What is, let me take a look. Net worth. I'm sorry. $245.8 billion is Elon Musk's net worth. Think about that for a second. The NBA franchises, boy, this is going to be alarming to you because the total market size value right now of 30 NBA franchises. This can't be right. This has got to be old. This can't be right. No, this isn't right. The value right now in billions. This is on one site called Run Repeat. I mean, this could be off. I think this is a bit off. But if you look at these numbers, the 30 teams combined are worth less than $100 billion. Elon Musk could buy every single NBA franchise right now and have 145 billion left in his pocket. He could buy them all. So why the hell couldn't he buy a league, create a league of women's basketball, own all 8, let's say, I'm going to give a number, 8 teams. Forget 12, forget 68 teams. You put them in major markets. You compete directly with the WNBA. You get Caitlin Clark as your face. And yes, you're going to call Angel Reese. You're going to call Arike. You're going to call Sabrina. You're going to call the faces of Nafisa Collier. You know who you're not going to call? You're not going to call Asia Wilson. You'll let Asia Wilson see if she can build the WNBA on her back since she thinks she's all that. But you're going to call the players, and you're going to call Rickea Jackson, Camila Cardoso, Kennedy Carter. You're going to call these players, and you're going to say, that little 65K you were making, 100K you were making, 150K you were making in salary, well, you're going to make $1 million a year. Bump that. Caitlin, you're going to make you're going to make 10 million a year. Angel, you're going to make 5 million a year. 8 teams, 12 players, 12 to 15 player rosters. How much is the annual salary? You can calculate it. You can do the math. And if you think that there'll be a problem filling up arenas, remember, Caitlin Clark's filled up every arena she's been to. She has. And you can make up your own rules. You can create things that make it exciting for people. You can find ways to make the game more exciting and enjoyable to watch. Who knows? Even hire competent referees. But if you paid, just give a round number, an average salary of 1.5 million. What is 8 times 120 players times 1.5 million annual salary? You're talking 180 million a year. Man's worth 245 billion. Please, but let's continue. Like, he could do this in his sleep if he wanted to. And now when you consider the fact that from Whitlock's perspective, you have a content situation here for Twitter X. I never thought of that. I think that's a brilliant idea. And on top of that, I would be looking to go to Fox and compete directly against the WNBA during the WNBA season. And you're going to find out who's watching Caitlin Clark and who's watching Asia Wilson. But let's continue here.
He needs content for Twitter, which he's trying to turn into a rival for YouTube. Caitlin Clark is that content. Women's basketball is that content. What we need is an XX league. See how that works? An XX basketball league on X. See, now you got 2 X's that equal women, a basketball league that is broadcast on Twitter. Caitlin Clark is that powerful. Elon Musk and the right partners have enough money to pull this off. it would be.
I would stop him right there and say Elon Musk has enough money all by himself. Elon Musk has enough money by himself. But naturally, he would have partners because he doesn't want to risk his shirt and lose money. He's not in the business. He's not in the business of losing money. He's in the business of making money. So this is obviously to make money and not be a welfare league to the NBA.
Monumental. Here's why Caitlin Clark and other WNBA players will listen to an Elon Musk. They need leverage in their negotiations with the WNBA. Just for the leverage, they would sit down and meet with Elon Musk and his business partners, just for the leverage that creates. Once they sit down, can Elon Musk and his business partners present a better vision of basketball? Can they present something that makes more economic sense than the woke WNBA? The WNBA is not a business. It's a political tool. This needs to be explained to all of the players that they're sabotaging their own economic future by allowing the WNBA to be a political tool and not a business. So you sit down with Caitlin Clark. You sit down with, yes, Angel Reese.
You absolutely sit down with Angel Reese. Absolutely. And before people say, oh, I wouldn't want her. No, you do want her. You do. Like for all the criticism that I can pass her way in my videos and the things that I've said about her and her lack of skill, and even Whitlock has clearly said in the past, she's the most unathletic player he's ever seen, which I think is a bit hyperbolic, but it goes to the point where we still understand that she has a marketing ability and she has a fan base. She has a fan base. This is about having a fan base who will watch you. Angel Reese's fans will go watch her at Wild 'N Out. They'll go watch her do anything. The same way Caitlin Clark's fans will go watch her play golf. So what would you want? You'd want some. Listen, these are the two highest selling athletes in the WNBA right now. And there's not a close third. It's not a close third here. Until right now, you have not seen a full arena. Let me refrain. Until game 2 of the WNBA finals, because game 1, they did not sell out. They can lie. They did not sell out. I know because I checked tickets. They were available. Standard resale. Game 2, that was sold out. And they put over 18,000 because they jammed people probably in the standing room only seats. But until that game, they have not sold out a game in a professional NBA arena without either Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese on the floor. Asia Wilson hasn't sold out an NBA arena. Kelsey Plum hasn't sold out an NBA arena. Sabrina didn't sell out an NBA arena. Not until Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese came. So yes, you're going to talk to Angel Reese as well. And we already know right now what makes her make decisions. Money. We already know it. The stuff that she's posting, cash will make her do whatever.
You sit down with Aaliyah Boston. You sit down with Juju Watkins. You sit down with Gino Auriemma. Yes, Gino, the coach of UConn.
Let me jump in on the Juju Watkins thing. You want to know why you're sitting down with Juju Watkins? Because you're not going to create the same antiquated rules that the WNBA has. It doesn't allow these women to turn pro until they're 22. I think it's 22. If you thought the rules in the NBA are antiquated, the ones in the WNBA are worse. Juju Watkins could play in the WNBA today. She's stuck in college. She's stuck. She has no way. She can't leave. She cannot leave until she's probably at least a junior going into her senior year. Because I don't know when she turns. I'm pretty sure the age is 22. Age for WNBA, 22. So if she's not 22 going in to her senior year, she has to stay for her senior year. That is a more antiquated rule system than the NBA is right now. So yeah, I would talk to her right now because I'm like, you want to stay in school for 3 more years or 2 more years? Come play here. We don't have these antiquated rules.
And you say, hey guys, let's do business. Let's make a big pile of money. We have a rare gift here in Caitlin Clark. We have fans that clearly want to see Caitlin Clark. There's people right now making plans to watch Caitlin Clark play golf in a pro-am. Caitlin Clark is the strongest force in content, in television content, in broadcasting content. Everybody benefits wherever Caitlin Clark shows up. She's going to be the Taylor Swift of sports. We can build a league that isn't hostile to Caitlin Clark, isn't hostile to a fan base that wants to see women behave as women, present themselves as women, and play basketball. We can make gobs and gobs of money rather than being a league that wears vote shirts and takes a knee every time some common criminal disobeys law enforcement and gets smoked. If you want to build your life around taking a knee for every George Floyd drug addict in America, have at it. Stay in the WNBA. Angel Reese, if you want to make $5, $10 million a year playing basketball, join the XX League. Is your life going to be dedicated?
I will say that I don't like the name, the XX League. I mean, you can now turn it into the Triple X League, and which is porn. No, I don't like the name. I think you come up with a different league name, but I understand what he's saying. I would not have that be the name, though.
To making sure that George Floyd never happens again. And trust me, it will happen again as long as there's fentanyl, as long as there's drugs, and as long as there's people that told, hey, the greatest thing you can do is disobey the police. That's a nonstop issue. George Floyd needed drug therapy. If you want to have a league that's built on that, have at it. If you want to have a league that's built on, hey, we got to help Kamala Harris get elected president, have at it. If you want to have a league that makes money and pays you millions of dollars, come over here to the XX League. Why will they listen? I've already told you. They need leverage in their collective bargaining agreement negotiations.
All right. So there you have it. That's the video of Jason Whitlock. He makes a lot of sense. The leverage is obviously a huge thing. I think it's more than leverage to me. I think they should honestly be looking at this option. This is a legitimate conversation. This is not just a leverage play to me. This is a legitimate conversation. And I'm actually and I think that the women's basketball right now is peaking. I don't think you're ever going to have a situation in which women's basketball peaks like it peaks right now. If you think that women's basketball is going to all of a sudden start drawing 3, 4, 5 million viewers per game, you're crazy. It will never happen. Not in the WNBA. And I don't think in any women's basketball league because the NBA doesn't draw 3, 4, 5 million viewers per game. For one, not every NBA game is on national TV. So we're using national TV numbers as the barometer of success. When the reality is local TV markets for these teams, like when the Seattle plays against the Sparks, who the hell's watching that? And you can get away with it right now and have basically Indiana be on every TV every single week. Why? Because there's only 12 teams. But if you have a league that grows beyond 12 to 15 teams, you have 13 next year, I think it is. So if you have a league that grows to, let's say, 20, 24, 28, it's impossible to have every team on national television. It's impossible to put Indiana on national TV every single game. And if you want your schedule to grow beyond 44 games, which is also another issue in itself, the schedule needs to be longer. As you grow your league, you have to have a bigger schedule so everyone can play each other. So there's a lot of things that go into it. But as constructed right now, yes, you're able to basically put Caitlin Clark on every single game she plays is on national television, and you're never having a down moment where she's playing on their local Indiana network. So for example, in Florida, in the Miami Heat, as a Heat fan, you got Bally Sports, which that's a mess in itself, dealing with that app, because it's not on TV, it's an app, and sometimes it's on cable, but it's all messy as hell. And I think Bally's has filed bankruptcy and whatever the hell, it's all a mess. But you think Miami Heat basketball locally is drawing 1 million fans per game on TV? Hell no. No chance. No chance. You have games on TNT, ESPN that weren't drawing 1.5, 2 million a game. So you're not going to all of a sudden have the WNBA, a competitor league, drawing 3, 4 million. But you're going to have consistent. You're going to have a much better. You're going to have a much better fan base who's going to watch, who wants to watch, who doesn't want to listen to this activism every single day. Like, you can't watch a WNBA game without having activism thrown in your damn face. It's exhausting. It's exhausting for viewers who are not interested in that. So what you'll do is you lose viewership, and now is the time more than any. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it now. You can't wait 5 years. You can't wait 10 years. You got to do it when you have the most popular player, quite frankly, in the history of women's basketball. At her infancy, she's going to be a second-year player. She's in her infancy, and I'm not saying it's going to happen next year, but it's a legitimate conversation that could happen in the next 12 to 24 months, for which people didn't think that LIV could create a new golf league. What happened? LIV was created, and you gave a whole lot of money to players that wanted to play, and LIV did not want to be stuck playing 35 to 45 tournaments a year, whatever number it is. I have no idea the numbers. I know that the amount, it was like WWE to WCW in wrestling when when WCW decided to just pay all these guys a whole lot of money for a fraction of the dates. And it's similar in LIV, where they're paying them for a fraction of the dates. They don't have to work every single weekend to get paid. And that's the situation here. You want to make more money? You can do it. People didn't think LIV could do it, and LIV did it. So why the hell couldn't an Elon Musk, who has the capital to do it, why couldn't he? You need to strike while the iron's hot. If you don't do it now, it will never happen, because you're never going to have another one like Caitlin Clark. She is your gold mine to doing this, to possibly doing this. Again, this is all speculative, and this is all my opinion. And it just so happened that it coincided with the fact that Whitlock did this video 2 days ago, and I had not seen it. But I think it would be an absolutely brilliant idea and a brilliant strategy by these women to go and have a conversation with Elon Musk. Because I think that a league featuring Caitlin Clark, competing with the WNBA at the same time, playing the same season, for which you got Caitlin, you get a whole bunch of these young up-and-coming stars. Yeah, man, the WNBA would probably not last very long, because people would be watching Caitlin Clark play. And while Caitlin Clark's having 1.5 million viewers and the other leagues drawing 300,000, you'll know the numbers tell the story. But let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear what your opinions are on this video and on my reaction to it. Be sure to pound that like button, subscribe to Rudy's Rant, and jump on board this train as we're choo-chooing away, baby. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.